got guests in the studio with me. I'm very excited about this. I've got Mark, Christian and David Cowley with me from the Isle of Man Fire Service. Thank you for being here.
Afternoon. Thanks.
It's an important time for you two, isn't it? And David, you contacted us about this because several times a year you do this recruitment. And tomorrow night is another event that's happening with regards to recruitment. Tell us a bit about it.
Yes, tomorrow night it's our last come and try it session down at Douglas Fire Station. What they're designed to do is give people the opportunity to come down, meet the team, try out some of the things that they'd have to do during the physical assessments and just see if they like it really, see if it's something that they want to pursue. We found in the past that quite a lot of people are nervous, to say the least, about things like the bleep test, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Come down
I have tried it.
And you know, people always have this memory of school when they do the bleep test, and it used to be a horrible PE lesson. But as I say, come down, try it out. It maybe not as bad as what you think it's going to be. And then some of the other aspects of what we do as well.
Excellent. And Mark, do you remember doing your bleep test for the first time? I know you have to do them again and again, but
it's a little while ago. The first time I did, I remember from school as well. But as David said, there's no pressure on these nights either. It's if you don't make it's up to 8.8 we measure. If you don't make that, well, at least you can go away and you've got a few weeks to prepare before the real thing. So there's absolutely no pressure.
So you don't turn up tomorrow and do a bleep test? That's
no,
not how
you can do a
works.
bleep test tomorrow night.
Okay.
But it's all about just come down and practice. And as I said, if we've got a PTI on site as well. So if, say, you didn't get to the required standard, they give you some advice on fitness as well. And it gives you a few weeks to go away and try and work on that before the real thing. So
Fantastic.
encourage you still to apply. And then come back in a few weeks' time and try it for real.
And this is, as we said, for recruitment. What sort of people are you looking for? What roles are you looking to fill? And what sort of person would suit these roles then, David?
Right, okay. We've got a number of vacancies at the moment. We've got whole-time firefighters, which we're recruiting for like a talent pool. So if we do have any vacancies within the next 12 months, we've got a pool of people we can pick from. And we've also got retained vacancies. Now, retained, it's effectively an on-call firefighter. And they're right across the island, whether it be an open position at the moment or whether or not it's for a pool of people. I think the only station we're not recruiting for this time around is Castletown, because we've recently recruited for there. As far as the type of person, anyone who's a good team player who can give that commitment and availability to us, really. Everything we do in the fire service is you're as part of a team. We don't do many things at all in isolation. So, if you come down, be part of the team, keep that level of fitness and commitment and... Yeah.
And is there a sort of age limit now in the fire service? How does it work with regards to ages?
For recruitment purposes, it's up to 45 is desirable as an upper age, but obviously there is changes there with the Equality Bill coming in, the final section that comes in January. What I would say, if you have any doubt, apply anyway. And we'll have that conversation with individuals, but it's between 18 and desirable 45 as an upper age limit.
And this is a perfect opportunity.
Purposes.
Yeah, and it's a perfect opportunity, you said, to actually just go and speak to people about it tomorrow night.
That's it. Some people might just come down, not really want to have take part in the activities. It's more about just having that face-to-face chat. There's a lot of information online as well at gov.im/jobs. And that's our adverts is on there, but there's 2 information packs as well, one for whole-time vacancies and one for on-call. And there's a lot of information in them packs, but also we're at the end of the phone as well, so if someone wants to ring Fire Service Headquarters 647 303, they can speak to one of the officers who's involved in recruitment. So.
And what is it like being a firefighter now in these times? What do your sort of duties usually sort of include? Because it's changed over the years, hasn't it?
I think some of the role has changed. I think it's had to as the fire service has modernised over the years. But inherently, we still turn out to the same types of incidents. I think the most basic way of putting it is if someone's having a bad day, our job's to turn up and make their day better. And that's something that's really good about what we do. The types of incidents are really varied. The training's really, really varied. With us being an island fire service, we can't just call on the next county to help us out. So we have to be able to do everything. And ultimately, if no one else can help out, that's where we come in. So we have to be that last line of defence, so to speak, to make sure that people are okay.
And it's great the services over here all work together as well, don't they? So you all sort of support each other in that respect.
Yeah, definitely. We've got really good relationships with police, ambulance, other emergency services. And ultimately, if there is an incident, we do have to work collaboratively to make sure that people get the best help they can.
So what if someone can't make it tomorrow night, but they really want to find out more information about this?
As Mark just said, we're at the end of the phone,
Yeah,
647 303, gov.im/jobs, the full application pack and the full detail behind the role, the key dates, the close of the application, the fitness tests, all that information's there. Also, if you can't get down tomorrow night, but you still want to see what the bleep test or what the details are like, those application packs give you all the information too. Even going online, you can have a look at some of the types of assessments that we do. Even on things like YouTube, where other services in the UK, they put parts of those assessments on so people can actually see them. So it's not a secret.
Fantastic. And the idea of being a fireman, what is your favourite thing about it, Mark? What do you love about the job?
I've just corrected there, Christy. Firefighter.
Sorry, firefighter. I even said that before. Firefighter.
That. For me, it's and certainly when I was based on a watch on fire engines, it's you come into work and you don't know what to expect that day. It's very varied. So although there's the general stuff you're likely to do each day, whether that's training or equipment maintenance, etc., you don't know what type of calls are going to come in. As David said earlier, very varied the calls we get, even today, and that's the exciting part of the job. You just don't know what you're going to do. And I think most of our staff would say whenever they go out to an incident, it's very rewarding. About you come away from that incident feeling you've done your best to help that person. Mm-hmm. And especially if one of our retained stations, we're advertising, it's 5 of them around the island. They're people who live in them communities, that local community, so it is very community based. So they see the direct benefit. They see them helping people they're likely to know in very small town and villages. So it's really that reward. Mm-hmm.
There is a lot to love about it. So if someone does come along tomorrow night and they do actually want to sign up, what's the sort of training process? How long does it take to actually sort of go through all of that, and what does it involve, David?
Right, okay. So from the closing date, so from tomorrow's day, as we've already talked about, so come and try it so they can see certain aspects. The closing date for applications is midnight on the 27th of October. From then, there's a physical assessments which are due to take place the evenings between the 18th and the 21st of November, and that's when they'll do the first level of the physical assessments, which is the bleep test and the hose running. From that, there's then an aptitude day, which is either on the 11th or the 12th of January next year, and that's when we really test those team building skills. They do some functional tests, such as a ladder climb, use of breathing apparatus, but majority of that day is spent assessing them, working as part of a team in different types of scenario. And then following that, the interviews are due to take place, I've just checked my notes, due to take place on the week commencing the 20th of January. So just that recruitment process itself, that's a full 2-month period, mm-hmm. and that's before they even then go to training school if they're successful. That process is another potentially 15 weeks for our whole-time personnel, and then it's a staggered training course on island for the retained personnel. So all in all, it can be up to about 6 months, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10 months actually.
It's probably about 10 months for retained, but that's very much the longest duration of one single course is 4 days, so that's over a weekend normally. And then we drop a couple of days in every couple of months to do some refresher training and some further training. Once they're qualified, they train once a week on their normal station, so whether that's Laxey, Ramsey, Peel, whatever, so that's 3 hours a week, and then the rest of the time they're on call and on standby, and obviously if we need them to come in for an incident, we call them in, and then they deal with whatever they have to deal with. It's 3 hours a week is they're contracted for once they've passed their basic course.
Fantastic. Well, there's so much information that we've even just covered in this few minutes here, but it sounds like the best thing for people to do if they are interested is come along tomorrow night to the Come and Try It session. So just remind us where and when that's happening.
That's tomorrow night at Douglas Fire Station on Peel Road. It's just a drop-in session, so you don't need to book a time, and that's from 6:15 till 8 o'clock.
Fantastic. And the phone number again, Mark, in case anyone's got any questions?
Fire Service Headquarters, which is 647 303.